Hello, everyone. No, I didn't forget about day 10. I just have been traveling and I just got in and it's really late. But I thought I would say a few words before I turned in for the night. So yeah, I said I've been traveling and I've been in the car for a while and I spent some time thinking. And I thought what I would talk about for a few minutes is just language. And I was thinking what I might do is talk a little bit about why I use the words mental illness when I talk about bipolar disorder, when I talk about, some of the challenges and struggles that I'm dealing with and or maybe that people in general might be dealing with. There's mental health, there's mental wellness, and there's mental illness. And each of these things are really important things, and they're important things to discuss. And I think for me, one of the things that I think is important is I strive for mental wellness. I talk about my mental health, and I have a mental illness. And it's a diagnosis. It's not, it's not a buzzword. And I think that I use the term mental illness because I think it's not something that really commonly is talked in a way that is normalized. I'm a mental illness is generally thought of as something that's very I don't like the idea of using the word extreme, but I do think that there's a lot of stereotypes that go along with the term mental illness, and I think that is very deeply tied to the way we view people with mental illness. I think that it's very deeply tied to the way we treat people with mental illness. And I think the term mental illness is not used very often, and as a result is very much sort of this unspoken thing. And if we don't use words and we don't name things, then we perpetuate stigma, we perpetuate shame, we teach people through our omission to avoid, to fear, to sweep under the rug, to hide. Sorry, I'm having some allergy moments. But I think it's really important for us not to perpetuate stigma by not saying something. Now, that said, I choose those words to describe my experience. That does not mean that one goes out and says, oh, hey, you suffered from depression, you have mental illness, because that person may not identify that. They may not use that language, and that is their prerogative. For me, I want to continue to use those words and use that language so that people with mental illnesses, if they want to speak out, if they choose to use those words, that there's less stigma, that there's less shame, that there's less pain, that there's less hiding, that there's less suffering, there's less stereotyping. I could just continue to go on and on, but I think that that's really important to me. And so once again, I think mental wellness is very important, and I strive to have mental health. And as a result of that, I'm going to get myself to bed because it's really, really late. And I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll be speaking to you probably sooner than I'd like, just from the perspective of the fact that I'm pretty sure as I was speaking, the clock ticked through to tomorrow. So have a good one, and yeah, I'll catch you on the flip side.